What is happening, people? It is your boy Jack, and I'm not a financial advisor. Yesterday I showed you the hoodie. Today I'm showing you the t-shirt. I got the t-shirt, the hoodie, and the mug to prove it, baby. Today I'm coming at you with a little bit of a different video. What I want to do today is I want to speak about what is a pump and dump stock, because as of late there has been quite a few, and I've noticed you guys in my comments, a lot of you have lost a considerable amount of money to these pump and dump stocks. And although I'm not a financial advisor, I don't want anybody losing money, so what I want to do is just explain what these actually are, how you can spot them, and how you can avoid, being the people who get dumped on. It's all well and good if you get into these guys early and you get out at the right time, but if you get into them late and refuse to get out when things go south, it's not going to be a good time for you. It's cold though, man. I gotta get a jumper on. Get the hat back on. And my beard's looking extra fluffy today. I need to get this trimmed up. Before we get into it, guys, can you please do me a massive favor and hit that juicy red button? In the last 28 days, we've had 48.1 thousand unique viewers, and only 3,400 of you guys are subscribed. If you're one of the guys who watches a lot of my videos and isn't sub yet, please hit that button. Let's see if we can get to 3,500 by tomorrow. I would appreciate it massively. Also, while you're down there, please hit the like button, because it will help me get seen by more people, which will encourage me to keep making these videos for you guys. And also, I'd like for you guys to comment down below in regard to these pump and dump stocks, and if you've either made a lot of money off of them, or if you've been on the other end of the stick and you got caught and you lost some money. Just let me know in the comments. Now though, let's get on with the video and let's speak about what these stocks are, what ones have been massive lately, how they come about, and how you can avoid them. So we're starting off on Investopedia, and we're just going to learn what it actually technically is. So pump and dump is a scheme that attempts to boost the price of a stock through recommendations based on false, misleading, or greatly exaggerated statements. And this is what I'm going to speak about the most, because this is what I've seen the most of lately. The perpetrators of this scheme already have an established position in the company stock and sell their positions after the hype has led to a higher share price. So what essentially happens is people will buy large positions in companies who are quite cheap, and then they will get as much hype surrounding them as possible in hopes of getting loads of people to buy these guys. And then, when they've made a lot of money, when they've made 60, 80, 100%, they're going to sell out. The stock price is going to start back down. This practice is illegal based on securities law and can lead to heavy fines. But at the same time, if a stock gets a lot of hype about it, say for example, let's speak about NAT. That was one that will come to everybody's mind, and everybody on YouTube was speaking about them. And I know just how much hype there was, because the videos I did on NAT were the best on my channel by an absolute mile. So there was obviously so many people interested in these guys. So what would have happened is a lot of massive institutions would have bought down and around here, or even around here. But imagine somebody buys down at the very bottom at $2.54 US, okay? And they have enough influence to create some hype around this. And then the hype that they create will create more and more hype. So people will look for an opportunity in the market that's presenting itself. And this particular one was oil storage, oil tanker stocks, because it's easy to see why they will do so well in the short term. So it's going to be easy to influence people into thinking that they could make hundreds and hundreds % on their initial investment, which may well happen. But look what happened here. Say somebody bought an awful lot of shares right down here at the bottom, and then they sold out up at the top. The top wasn't actually here. This was only $7.34. The top was $9. They would have made over 350% on their investment, right? Now think about the likes of you and me, your everyday person, and we see the hype and we see the potential. So we start buying maybe here and here, and here is where an awful lot of people started buying. The volume on these days was massive. And then what happens? The big guys get out, they sell everything, and then panic starts and everybody starts selling, and then the dump happens. Okay, so this is the pump when it goes up and up and up because there's so much hype, and this is the dump where everybody loses an awful lot of money. And I know for a fact with NAT in particular, a lot of people got caught in this dump from the comment sections in my videos. What makes NAT different to any other oil tanker right now? They're all going to be making absolutely immense money. A lot of them have absolutely fantastic balance sheets. What made NAT different? Just simply the fact there was so much hype behind them. So here is a line chart showing 4 different oil tanker stocks and how they've done in comparison to each other over the last 3 months, and that is this grey line. So we can see everybody goes down together, everybody comes up together in fairly similar amounts, you know what I mean? NAT was down here, they get a lot of hype. DHT was the top leader for a while, NAT comes up, and then boom, this massive pump happens, and now NAT are coming back down much heavier than the other guys. All of these guys are in the same sector. They're all living the same life essentially. They're all taking advantage of the situation at hand. The reason NAT has done so much better majorly was because of all of the hype that surrounded them. So that's the absolute basics of what a pump and dump is. And that is why I did not buy these guys. If you watch any of my videos on that, I mentioned just how appealing they look. The balance sheet's incredible, the money they're going to make for the next few quarters is incredible, the dividend's incredible. The only reason I wouldn't buy in them is because of all of the hype. And that may sound silly. The reason that I'm not buying in them is because so many people believe in them so heavily. But that is going to influence the price without a doubt. And that is exactly what we saw happen. A lot of the big institutions would have sold right at the tip top, and then the dump happened. So pump and dumps would have used to have been, you know, inside jobs. Somebody would have said they had inside information in regards to a company and that you should buy them right now because their stock is going to explode, and that was what was highly illegal. But nowadays, there's so much of a presence on the internet. There's so many people looking into stocks on the internet. It's a lot easier to happen. So now it's not one person claiming to have insider information. It's an abundance of massive people on the internet speaking about a stock in such an excited way. That's why I always make it really clear when I speak about stocks like Nikola, like NAT, like Carnival, any of these guys who get such big hype behind them, I always make it really clear that I'm not buying them. Because I don't want to contribute to this hype, because I know that very often people will lose a lot of money. And that brings us on to Pump and Dump 2.0. The same scheme can be perpetrated by anyone with access to an online trading account and the ability to convince other investors to buy a stock supposedly ready to take off. And so this is where YouTube really comes into play, because there are some absolutely massive influences on this platform. And I know for a fact there's people who, when somebody says they're buying a stock, they will go and buy that exact same stock. That's why I always make it so clear that I'm not a financial advisor, and I never want anybody to buy something just because I do or because I speak of it. And I know I joke about not getting sued and things of the like, but the real reason is that I don't want people to lose money because of the choices that I make. When I make my own trades, I'm more than happy if I lose money. It's absolutely fine because it's mine, but I don't want that to happen to anybody else. So I'm going to speak about a few more stocks that have had this whole pump and dump scheme 2.0 or whatever you want to call it happen over this last month or so, most of which I have actually spoke about on the channel. But first of all, I want to speak about how you can avoid these. And it is really simple, and this is why I don't buy any stocks. I don't buy any stocks that get the most hype on YouTube. It's why I did not buy Carnival, despite the fact I absolutely love the long-term outlook of Carnival. I still didn't buy them because there was so much hype. It's why I didn't buy NAT. Again, I love the look of them and I completely and utterly believe it's going to be an amazing 6 to 9 months for these guys, but there's too much hype. It's why I didn't buy Nikola, and look what happened to Nikola the last few days. In the matter of a week, this stock went up over 130%, and then since then, it has fell down 25+%. So again, Nikola is a company that I do like the looks of, and I spoke about them in a video as well. I'll put that on the screen or something if you want to see my full thoughts on them. I do quite like the look of them, but I will not buy because of how much hype is going around, and because I believe I'll be so susceptible to a pump and dump. I've seen it so many times since I've got into stocks, and especially since I've started posting on YouTube. I've seen so many of these pump and dumps, and that's why I wanted to make a full video about them. Now is a good time to point out as well that I am a long-term investor. That's what I am. I want to buy stocks that I believe will either perform extremely well over the decades to come, or I believe, you know, will somewhat perform well but pay me an absolutely fantastic dividend. These companies here, the companies that are speculative in nature, these aren't the companies I am personally interested in. Simply put, they're just not. I see the appeal. For anybody to be able to make 100, 200% on their money in a matter of days, literally days, a week or two absolute max, is incredible. That return is massive. But with that incredible potential comes incredible risk. I mean, NAT, for example, went up a few 100%, and now it's down nearly 50% from its very highs of $9. I want to speak about Carnival a little bit. Now, this isn't a pump and dump. They've been around for a very long time. But remember, there was so much hype behind these guys that it did heavily affect the stock price. And I'll just show you that here. From the 18th of March until the 26th of March, they went up nearly 100%. And then in a matter of a week or so, they were back down 55%. Now, a lot of people know that I absolutely love airline stocks, and they're one of my favorite in the world right now. And people could, you know, somewhat say that there's been some pump and dump go on in relation to airline stocks. I don't really see the pump. I just see a whole lot of dump. Obviously, you could argue here, but to me, that's not a pump. That is not a pump. It has just been a dump. That's why I generally buy my airline stocks when bad news comes out, not when good news came out. When Warren Buffett sold off all of his, I bought. It dropped nearly 10%. When the Boeing CEO said that he thought one of the major US airlines was going to go bankrupt, I bought. But I just wanted to throw Delta in there because I know a few people will bring up airline stocks. Another industry where these pump and dumps happen so often, I'm speaking every single day lately, is the biotech industry. You could go find multiple biotech stocks that have gone up over 100% in the matter of a day or two. One here, all I had to do is look up top moving bio stocks. Look, up 150%, up 30%, down 73%, down 15%. What happens with these guys? Right now we live in a special time. They go up or down because they have the next big cure for the virus. And then it turns out, wait a minute, I actually don't have the next big cure for the virus. And I hadn't even looked at this before, but I just scrolled down and that's the first thing you see. These guys' stock skyrockets 244% after claiming a breakthrough on a COVID-19 antibody. That is why these biotech stocks move so quick, so fast, so heavily. But I bet if you go back and look at these guys in a week's time, the dump will have happened. I've seen it happen so often in these biotech stocks. That's why I've said in loads of videos, and I reply to people in my comments the whole time saying I'm not investing in biotech. So more than likely, one of these companies will find the cure, they'll find an antibody, they'll find something like that, and they are going to make so much money and their stock price is going to go to the moon. But the rest of them won't find the first cure and they will be dumped. The only reason people are buying these companies is because they believe they may find the cure. That's the only reason. They don't care about their balance sheet. They don't care about their past performance. They don't care about the long term. It's just because they think they could find the cure, which would offer absolutely insane returns. I'm speaking thousands of %. But the rest of them, the other 1,000+ companies, will just get dumped. And I guarantee if we check back on these guys in a week, if they haven't found the cure, that dump will have happened. And you have to be very quick. You have to know where the right news is and you have to find it before anybody else if you want to make money in stocks like these. If you buy right when the hype starts beginning, when you see the first big YouTuber post about a stock, you may well make some decent money. You could lose it all just as easily though. But when it gets really worrying is when you buy when the hype is starting to die down, when you buy near the top. I know a lot of people bought NAT at $6.50, at $7, even $7.50, and literally a matter of an hour or two later they had lost an awful lot of their investment. So I have nothing against the people who do buy into these stocks, because I know a lot of you will make a lot more money in a matter of an hour or two than I will make probably this year. If you have the big enough bank accounts and the big enough golden crown jewels, you can make a lot of money here, but just as quickly you could lose a lot of money. I just wanted to make this video though, because although I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not the smartest person in the world, I still do want to hopefully help some of you guys at the very least avoid letting these things happen to you in the future, because I've been there and I know what it feels like to lose money, and it really is not a good feeling. If you're a day trader, if you're a short-term trader, if you spend hours and hours a day looking at the news, looking for these spec stocks, you do you, man. I've nothing against that whatsoever, but it is not for me, and it more than likely isn't for you watching this video if you consider yourself to be, you know, either a long-term investor, a dividend investor, or anything of the likes. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, please do hit that subscribe button and that like button if you haven't yet. I appreciate it massively, and drop a comment down below with your thoughts on the video. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, everybody, and I will catch you for tomorrow's video. Peace.